it was raining so much that the clay got so heavy, the box was caving in, and it started filling up with water.
Buried alive for a week.
Yeah.
Tell me, tell me everything, I guess.
So when people hear about this, they think it's stupid, and I get it. But honestly, that was one of the most beautiful weeks of my life.
How? I'll tell you how I found your stuff when you found the most remote pub in the world with Zach Alsop.
Yeah.
He released a video. I think that's where a lot of people have come to find you.
Really.
I've gone on his story when you're actually doing it. And I remember I was hungover in bed.
Yeah.
And I've clicked on it and I see your channel and you live streamed the whole thing, didn't you? And I watched too much of it, really. Because
well, boring though. Right?
Yeah. Well, you know, people aren't sitting there watching the whole thing, are they? They're skipping through.
I'm doing that really just for proof
that you did it. Yeah, for sure. But I couldn't. When I see you running in that, and then I'm hungover in bed, I think I should really be doing that.
Yeah.
But with that one, I thought, no, you're all right, mate. You're all right.
What's the thought process? You've done all these runs, and then you're just sat there and you go, buried alive's the next step, isn't it?
So I classed like the big achievements of mine. It's like the Ages to London, which is obviously a lot of running, and then the carpool, which is slightly different because it's slightly more strength. Do you know what I mean? It's not straight running; it's a bit different. And then I had the idea for the Buried Alive, and I just fell in love with the idea because it's just a completely different. It's just pure mental. It's almost the opposite of the other stuff I've done. The other stuff's like, how much can you do in this time? This is just like, okay, now do nothing. Like, and people always leveled at me as well. They were like, oh, like you're one of these crazy people that always need to be doing something. And I was like, all right, I'll show you. Like, I'll show you the other side of it.
You always need to prove people wrong, don't you?
So I was like, sat there in this fucking coffin for a week and did absolutely nothing. And it genuinely, I'd say, one of the best experiences of my life. Like, I've taken so much from it. It's unbelievable.
What do you take from it?
So in your boys' lives, yeah, how often do you ever have a week, right, uninterrupted thoughts? You are just sat there thinking through things for an entire week. It never happens. You've got stimulation everywhere. Right, it's almost like a huge detox of life. So I had no food. I was just drinking water. I had nothing to stimulate. I was just staring at a wall for like 24 hours a day, right? And by doing that, it forces you to be at peace. Like a lot of the other challenges, I was like gritting my teeth and just get through it. Whereas this, it's like there's no hiding away from it. You've got to be at peace with yourself. So it's like I did so much meditating before that. Did so much fasting, and like it's really got me to a state of like so zen, and like I came out of it with such a better understanding of like I'm so much more understanding of people now, and like how we're all just like a product of our circumstance, and like it's just got rid of so much of the toxic traits I had, like judging people and all this kind of bullshit that it just makes the world worse. Like it helped me get rid of a load of that, like, and I just feel like I can move freely now. Like it's
really?
Mate, it's been honestly a beautiful thing. Yeah.
Wow.
Can you just describe the intricate details of the challenge? So you've mentioned a coffin. Jack's obviously just said underground.
Yeah.
So you're literally buried alive. How does that work with breathing and drinking and getting more water?
So we just had tubes up to the top, and then just loads of water down there, and that was it. And then I piss in the bottles, drink water, and that was that. That didn't have no food, nothing. Yeah.
Fuck. Were you not hungry?
And I've done a lot of fasting. So that's something that I trained a lot for. So I've done this year. I've probably done fasts longer than 4 days, maybe like 5 or 6 times.
How do you find them?
They were really tough at first. I've done a lot of fasting on and off for years though, so like my body's quite used to it now. But at first, it's humbling. It's a humbling experience, and you also realise how pathetic we are because you so many times you'll go like half a day. Like I used to go like half a day without eating, or like say you'd skip breakfast and lunch, you come home for dinner, you are fucked. You're in a shit mood. You're terrible, right? Whereas now, like throughout the process of fasting, I can sort of just level out, and it's all about the mindset of just like knowing that these things are temporary and you'll get through it and it'll be all right, and then you can just like level.
Jesus, I go 4 hours without food, and I'm like, I'm fucking starving.
Yeah, but this is the thing when like that means that you're a slave to having to eat every 4 hours.
Yeah,
Like that's how I see it. Like if I'm a slave to that, whereas like well, now because I'm fasting, I'm not gonna eat for 3 days. All right, like, it's not great, but okay.
Do you eat healthy when you eat then?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I'm not bad. I do have a bit of a sweet tooth, I won't lie, but normally I'm like exercising so much that I can treat myself and it don't matter.
Yeah.
Like if I'll be running, say like 200k a week or something.
Right.
I could pretty much do what you want.
Fair enough. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
When you're down in this coffin, well, first of all, where was it? Where were you buried?
Right. So I couldn't really say this at the time. I'm not even sure I can say it now, to be fair.
Right. Okay.
I'll explain why. Right. So basically, the first time we did it, I paid this woman 500 quid to use her garden. So me and my flatmate don't have a garden, right? So dug a massive hole, put all the shit in there. I was doing the challenge, going for it, and it just pissed it down. So we tried to put a tarp on the top, but it weren't having it. It was raining so much that the clay got so heavy, the box was caving in. And it started filling up with water, and we had like electrics and shit, obviously with the camera and stuff.
Yeah.
And we were like, fuck it, right, we're gonna have to think of a better because this has gone to shit, and this was like 30 hours in. So I was like, oh, fuck, right. Like I said, like failed the challenge, blah blah blah. Everyone was like, oh, you're a loser.
Really?
Yeah, mate. So there was a lot of people like, and I was like, I get it. I should have planned for it better, but you know these things happen. And so it was back to the drawing board. Then I was like, all right, fuck. Then I started looking at people that had done similar things before, like Mr. Beast got buried alive for 50 hours, I think it was. David Blaine done it back in the day, done a week buried alive. And I wanted to get a box made, but it was just ridiculously expensive. Like I saw Mr. Beast say on a podcast that he spent 250 grand doing this. Yeah. And I was like, fuck, I don't. Mate, I'm self-funding all this shit, do you know what I mean? Like I don't have nothing to help me out like that. So I was like, well, that's not really an option. So I was like, I don't want to fail this challenge based on the weather. If I fail this challenge, it should be down to I don't have the mental to do it.
Mm-hmm.
So me and my flatmate Charlie were talking, and we were like, right, well, we're gonna have to try and do it inside because that takes the element of weather away. So what we did is we cleared out my fucking room in my flat and built this huge fucking container out of MDMF. Put the coffin at the bottom of the container, filled it up with shit ton of mud. And done it that way, and that way that there was no weather that could fuck me over. We had internet and electrical access that we could easily get into the thing, and it made the whole thing a lot easier.
Wow.
So yeah, that's how it went down. But I didn't want to say anything at the time, right? Because, and I'm even a bit wary about saying it now because our landlord, his son knows who I am or whatever, and I was a bit sketchy about it. Like, I don't know what he'd think. Do you know what I mean? It's done now. Look, I survived. The flat's intact. No one got hurt, right? But at the time, I was like, I don't know how I feel. Like we don't want him to know about it.
Yeah, fair enough.
That's an insurance nightmare, isn't it?
Yeah.
Did you find when you was down there you slept more than you usually would?
Nah. So the first couple days I slept quite a lot, but the thing is, when you're fasted for more than a couple of days, then you don't need as much sleep. So I was only really sleeping for like 5 or 6 hours. But a lot of people thought I was sleeping all the time because I'd just be sat there like this, like maybe meditating with my eyes closed or something, and they'd be like, oh, he's sleeping again. But I'm just meditating. But yeah, I wasn't actually sleeping that much.
I don't know anything about meditating. What are you doing? What physically doing when you've got your eyes closed? Are you thinking, concentrating on the breathing?
So like there's different ways people do it. I like just concentrate on the breath a lot, and it's kind of like clearing your mind.
How long can you do that for in a prolonged period of time?
It's hard to even say down there because I wasn't even sure, but like I wouldn't do it for hours and hours and hours because it would just get like it's hard. But I'd do like an hour. I spend like a lot of time. I spent a lot of time just thinking, like reflecting, thinking about like what's important to me, asking all the deep questions of life. Do you know what I mean? Like what's valuable to me? What do I want to do with my life? All that kind of shit.
Did you come out with like really raring to go and do other things?
I just came out with like almost feeling like enlightened. Do you know what I mean? It was wild. And then literally 24 hours after that, I'm fucking climbing mountains with Zach. Yeah.
Did you have a clock down there? Did you know what time it was?
Yeah, the live stream would tell me how long the live stream had been on, so I could pretty much work it out quite accurately, like how long I had to go, sort of thing.
You know when you do something fun and then the time goes real quick, and you do something strenuous or laborious and it takes ages. Did it fit? How long did it feel like?
I tried not to focus on time, like really at all, to be honest.
That's easier said than done.
Yeah, but it's just, mate, that's not a good game to be playing. Do you know what I mean?
That'd be me though. I'd be there going, right, I'm an hour in. I've got fucking.
That's not a good game to be playing. You don't want to be doing that. I was just trying to be like present and just like just fucking take it in and actually try and enjoy it. Do you know what I mean?
Enjoy it.
Yeah.
Did you?
Yeah. Well,
do you enjoy it in hindsight, or were you enjoying it during?
See, this is the best type of thing because I don't do like. Enjoying it at the time is one thing, but looking back on hindsight and enjoying it is a way better thing. So at the time, obviously, I'm probably thinking bit, but now I can go. I gained so much from that.
Yeah,
is a beautiful experience. I'm very glad I did it, and that for me is enjoying it.
What's the most painful aspect of it physically?
The not eating does get quite painful. Yeah.
Also,
though, I didn't put any fucking padding in there. I had like the tiniest little yoga mat in there, so my back was a bit fucked actually by the end.
Yeah, I can be asleep for one night and I'll get a fucking backache.
Yeah.
How much would I have to pay you, Stevie, to do that? But you're locked down there, so you can't quit. Like even if you want to, you can't quit.
I don't think I could cope. It'd be unbearable.
You'd be
for me.
surprised. This is what I say to you. You'd be surprised, mate. Like we're more adaptable than you think.
Yeah, but you have to train for it.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not doing that.
One day I went to the shops. He followed me from my house to the shops. I asked him if he had a knife this time. He stayed silent.